Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be guiding you through some of my favourite coasters in the UK. Now, bear in mind that I've not visited every major theme park in the UK. This includes Chestnut World of Adventures, Oakwood Theme Park, and also Flamingo Run Resort, just to name a few. However, I am a huge coaster enthusiast. I know a good coaster when I see one. And to start things off, I'm going to start with my local park because I'm true to my local parks. I love to go into them. I'm going to start off with Alton Towers. And my top three coasters from there are the Smiler, Nemesis and Wicker Man. And I love them all individually for separate reasons. I'm going to go through them now. I was tempted to put 13 in this list as a joke, but then I thought, yeah, I was kind of put off by the near 2-hour wait for the ride on a freezing cold day in November. Yeah, that wasn't the most enjoyable of experiences. Let's just put it that way. I'm just gonna put it lightly there. I could go on all day about Nemesis and how brilliant that is, but again, I would rather keep my views. I'd rather keep my subscribers. That's one of the most important things that I want to do. A trip to Alton during the 2020 season definitely justified my love for Nemesis. You know, it just put the icing on the cake, and I was that excited that I went on that coaster 3 times in a row. At the end of the day, I was just crazy at that point. I was just a complete madman, and I'm probably been a bit too narcissistic there saying that, but oh well. I'm just gonna go with it now. I've already wasted enough time in this video. I'm just gonna move on. Another ride that I rode during the 2020 season, and I hadn't rode for a while, so it was, you know, it felt pretty fresh because I hadn't been on there since summer 2019, so well over a year. So it'd been a long time, and I managed to get on it in the dark. It was Wicker Man, and I seriously recommend, if you haven't already rode any ride at all in the dark, I seriously recommend you do that. Usually, I know with UK parks, it's late night riding, you know, around autumn time, you know, October, November, especially with Alton Towers and Thorpe Park, they do, you know, scare events like Scarefest at Alton Towers. You know, and they do late night riding until like 9 or 10 in the evening. So if you get to do that, I seriously recommend it. It's an incredible experience, and especially on Wicker Man as well. I just cannot describe the feeling when I rode Wicker Man in the dark. Just I was proper into it, as I always am. If you've ever ridden a roller coaster with me, or if you ever, you know, bump into me on a ride, and you ride a roller coaster with me, but by some lucky chance, then you'll know I love to put my hands up. I just completely go for it, and I'm in the moment. And there's no feeling like it when I'm on a roller coaster. It sounds a bit weird, but you know, I'm just in the zone. And one coaster that I just absolutely adore is the Smiler, and that's where my true colours just come out best, really, because I just love going on there. And I'll get onto one instance in a moment where I didn't particularly enjoy it as much, but for the most part, I just love going on the Smiler, and it's one coaster that my brother up until recently has been afraid to go on. He hasn't gone on it yet, but he said to me numerous times that he's going to go on it. So he's becoming less and less of a wimp. My favourite element, if you told me asked me for my favourite element on the Smiler, I would probably have to say the double corkscrew. It's just absolutely incredible. It's so special because at the end of the ride, you're not, for a first time, if you're a first time rider of the Smiler, you kind of not expecting it. You're like, oh, that's it now. All those inversions, and now I can just relax. And then you're like, oh, what's this? Double corkscrew. And then I don't know what I did there, but I was trying to do a simulation of you know what it's feeling going through that double corkscrew before you take a bank turn and then into the station. I could go on forever about the elements on that ride and how thrilling they are to me. Now, I feel like I have to take a bit of a deep breath when I'm mentioning Thorpe Park after the last video. If you've seen the last video, you'll know what I mean. But I wouldn't blame you after I've just said that. If you haven't watched my last video, I wouldn't blame you for thinking that something terrible happened on one of the rides. whilst I was on one of the rides. But thankfully, you can rest assured that nothing terrible happened. I went to Thorpe Park during the summer of 2020, and it was just an incredible experience. The atmosphere was absolutely incredible, and the most incredible thing of all to me was finally getting the opportunity to compare Nemesis Inferno to, obviously, the better version, the better Nemesis at Alton Towers. Wink, wink. I can't wink because I'm not cheeky. But what I am is a massive biased little sod, as you can tell, because I like to stay true to my local. I don't know why. It would make more sense if there was an Alton Towers logo there. Nemesis Inferno, don't get me wrong, Nemesis Inferno is an absolutely brilliant ride, and I love the volcanic theming and the strong essence of Will Mackenzie in that station area. If you're hot on your TV references there, hopefully that was some enjoyment to you. And I also love going on the Swarm as well. I went on that twice. I was planning to go on Nemesis Inferno twice, but I never did for some reason. But I did go on the Swarm twice, and that's one of the few coasters that my brother actually has been committed to go on. Which, shock horror. But it was great. I love the dive drop at the top of the lift hill when you go down the dive drop. That's great. And then at the end when you go into the 0G roll, I believe it is at the end as well. That's just brilliant. My first ever Bmw Coaster, and contrary to what you may believe, I'm not a mega rich person. I'm not old enough to go out and explore Europe, so I haven't been to Gardaland in Italy to ride the other Bmw Coaster that I know of, which is named Raptor. From what I've heard, that's a very good ride as well. I'm not rich, as I said. I'm unfortunate enough to live in a house that possesses Sky Internet, so take from that what you will. But my favourite ride at Thorpe Park is, drum roll please, yeah, very very suspenseful, I know, it is Stealth. It is Flying Fish. No, wait, yeah, I think I might have got a bit muddled up in my head there. It is actually Stealth. I couldn't really decide whether it was between Stealth and Flying Fish. They're both such great rides. I couldn't pull them apart, but I have just edged Stealth, and it is just brilliant. I've been on both. I've been on both launch coasters in the UK now, but both Intimate Accelerator coasters is the proper name for them. Come on, get it right. I've been on both now, and it's a pretty easy decision if you're comparing them to. Stealth wins any day, and unlike Rita, it isn't actually a waste of your time, and you don't have to buy a fast track for just I can't even get my words out now. I'm just, I'm starting to break down now because I'm realizing just how many precious hours I've wasted queuing for that dreaded ride. But yeah, it is actually worth waiting. You know, even if the queue is like 2 hours long, for example, it's still worth it at the end of it. Even though it's pretty much the same length as Rita, it's far superior. It really is, and just there's no other feeling like it when you launch from 0 to 80 in 1.9 seconds, and you reach the pinnacle of that top hat, that 205 foot high structure. It's just wow. That's I don't have any other words for it really. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm just gonna leave it there really, because I've just stunned myself now. I've stunned myself just talking about it. There's no other words to describe how amazing Stealth is, and I almost didn't go on it. Because that day Stealth broke down. Stealth broke down. So, you know, there's a chance I might never have got to experience it, but thankfully it did get back up and running later on in the day, and I did manage to ride Stealth, which I'm so thankful I did, because it's up there in my top 3 coasters in the UK by far. It's yet to be moved. It's yet to be knocked off its perch, but we'll have to see what this year brings, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the theme park season to start again. And I'm not exactly Mr. Consistent, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my hardest to bring you regular content. Although my brain's a bit thick and I don't have the best. I'm not the best person for video ideas, so there may not be a video for a while. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and let me know your favourite coasters in the UK, and maybe even Europe as well if you've been lucky enough to venture out into Europe. I've only I've still been lucky enough to go to Disneyland Paris, but that's the only Europe park that I've been to. I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye! Still need to work on that outro. Yeah.